Sayın Bakanım, değerli misafirler, tekrar hoş geldiniz diyorum. That was the Turkish part of my speech, actually. And distinguished guests and dear friends and honorable speakers. And since we have a very tight schedule today, I will try to keep my also speech short and let all our honorable speakers to give us latest developments in the industry and what's going on for 5G related technology development area. And also we will have a session to have face-to-face discussions and also the forums. So I want to start introducing a short introduction with the Netsia and the Argela as well, and our activities in last 10 years related to 5G and the SDN, NFV, and open networking technologies. And we start with the presentation. You see there is a bridging gap. Actually, we are bridging the gap also of the network, as Telefonica announced in last GSMA, saying that we were the last mile of their network, which with our RAN slicing solution we provided for them. And just a small introduction of Argela and Netsia. And Argela established in 2004. We were the founders of the company, and then acquired by Türk Telekom in 2007. At the end of the 2007, it's been almost 11 years now. We are inside the Türk Telekom group and trying to continuing to develop new technologies in Turkey as well as in global market. And then mainly, I mean, we provide many platforms in Türk Telekom network and also in other networks in Turkey, other operators' networks in Turkey and in the region. And also we were the initiator of some of the defense projects and defense sector projects in the public safety area, as well as to be used also in the commercial area, namely ULAC and MILAT as well. And that's also Argela is acting as a development house of the Netsia for some other new projects. And Netsia established in 2008, and that time with the support of Türk Telekom with the Poldoni, and then we established a company in Silicon Valley. We believe that that's the place has to be. And in order to, you know, be inside the right ecosystems and also, you know, and with the related parties and the partners, then we have the chance to access the global market also from the Netsia. And today, I will skip that part. If we look at what are the values Netsia provides, actually, the added values Netsia provides, we can say that, okay, we are working with the leading operators in tandem, side by side with them, and namely Telefonica, AT&T, Verizon, Deutsche Telekom, and KDDI, Orange, Türk Telekom, and also the Turkcell, and supporting us. And then our product, some of you know very well, is a program, is developed by Netsia, and with the team of, is a team led by Professor Sunay, and as a CTO in Netsia, and his team with Korean, Indian, and Turkish engineers all together. And then now in many operators lab is alive, and then we did also the POCs, and we have the patents and we have the IPR already developed by us, and by this as a company, maybe the first time in Turkey, and with our force in is R&D arm in Netsia. We are in the leading position, at least in this in slicing area, where is namely the run slicing area. And all those operators, we are working together, and with some of them, we have the draft MOUs, and we are trying to finalize the agreements to have the product to start the product development, and then make the product available worldwide. And also these operators are willing to buy the product if we can really develop the product with their requirements. And then that's a huge opportunity for us and for country, and also for Türk Telekom. And then we are collaborating also with our development partners or third-party, application providers and hardware developers, switch developers, so on. And then you see the names of the companies. And also actively participating in the standard bodies, as you know, where they define the standards also for 5G now, and on the access side, on the core network. And therefore, we are not only just participating in these bodies just for listening and just learning, but we are actively contributing the standards. And then especially on the open forums like ONF, and then we are active there and writing the codes and having the leading position in some of the vertical segments of the development, such as M-Cord, mobile side, in A-Cord, analytic side, and also in the core. We are participating core development teams as well. And then so we have an influence also in their standards. So I will also talk about two main line of the business. We are having a development also in Netsia. One of them is a program. We started with the program in a 4G environment, and implement the run slicing using open call controller, namely ONOS, and developed also the protocol and patented by us. And the program is the unique, product now. And then, as I said, having the all IPR, and we are in a unique position to take it to the global market as well. And then, if we have the, thanks to also Türk Telekom, supported the development of this product, and then he provided us a considerable R&D funding to develop this product, and also for the patents as well. And then now it's ready for the POCs and for the lab trials, and even the field trials. Last year we did the field trials in Türk Telekom network in Konya, and we announced it also in the latest, in the last GSMA. And one of them is a program, and now it's becoming virtual run in the 5G environment, because we are virtualizing it, and we are taking the controller part and also the intelligent part of the run to the cloud, and then where the radio part will reside as it is in existing base stations. But by doing that, you have more centralized control on your access network, and then you can slice your access network, and then which I think Oğuzhan is going to talk about more about the underlying technologies for that program technology. And then by this way, profile-based slicing, and then enables us to use the radio resources more efficiently. And if we have the profiles, and the profiles can be, certain users, profiles can be certain applications, or even the service providers can have a different profiles on the same access spot. Therefore, really, it is the slicing that we are providing has a lot of advantages from a service provider point of view and from user point of view as well. And the second one is the SEPON. Is actually SEBA projects. Many of them has been, namely R-Court, came out from the ON lab and now is ONF, and then that enables also that enables us virtualizing the PON network, fiber network, and break the vendor lock-in on the ONT and OLT side with the SEBA solution. I think operator is going to have a huge CAPEX and OPEX savings, and not more than 50% according to our business case studies. And then that's also this project supported by Türk Telekom, and we have a contract with Türk Telekom to provide this solution in their fiber network. And then we hope that next year it will be in service and serving many fiber subscribers with the white boxes and the ONT white boxes and OLT white boxes and that. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on the infrastructure, but maybe we can say something about the, the blocks. And on the access side, this is actually the MAC infrastructure, core infrastructure, but it's the same for SEBA as well, for the optical, virtualized optical networks. And then on the left-hand side, as you see, we have many access types as home users connected to, via ONT to the network, and then the access cloud. And we have business users as well, and mobile users, either 4G, 5G, 2G, doesn't matter. And then we have Wi-Fi users, and we have IoTs. IoT devices will be connected to access cloud, and we will host the IoT middlewares to support them. And then we will assign a different slice for IoT devices, and we will assign different slice also for the other users. And the OLT will be the common interface point to the for the Mac. And then all these functions we are supporting, and then they are actually open source based software components, and we have also fabric. We are using the lift spine fabric, namely trellis, came out from also ONF, and we are using ONOS as a SDN controller there, and we are using local orchestrator, Kubernetes, many of them also global orchestrator as ONAP. And then we are able to work with both of them. And in the demo, maybe some of them you had a chance to see. And if not, please come to our booth outside. And then we will be able to show you how a fiber user and a wireless user are treated from the same Mac, from the same cloud, and using the ONAP closed loop scenario, which a global orchestrator is taking care of all the network, control. And means global orchestrator, you will hear a lot, I think, about it. Maybe ONAP is 9 million lines of code already has been written by thousands of engineers from all around the world, and we are also part of it. And then AT&T and China Mobile and the other operators are heavily investing on this as a global orchestrator. that is actually a mono platform, means you define your service, you write it in your catalog, all the requirements, and then you just your hardware, servers, and switches allocated accordingly, depending on your requirements, and then you manage it. That's all done centrally by this main orchestrator. And then you are shaping your network, you are controlling your network, depending on the needs and depending on the requirements, and depending on different profiles in the network, you will be able to introduce the new functions as a network function, virtual network function. You will be able to manage them, and that is the huge opportunity. That's what virtualization is, I think. That's why we are using SDN and NFV technologies. That's why they are talking about slicing, they are virtualization, softwareization, SDNization, whatever you call it. And all these technologies, and then actually the concepts, they are the main building blocks of the 5G world. And then whatever it will come up as a new product in this world, in the virtualized world, in the cloud environment, I think we'll have to use these technologies. Okay, that's the program. I will skip that part also, but mainly now in the program, we already have the program controller, and we already have some of the functions has been developed, but we have to adapt them to the 5G, using the 5G standards. And then mainly we will focus as a company, Netsia, we will focus on the CU part, central unit, and then also the RIC part. Also, some of you may know about these concepts, and that we will mainly focus on the network intelligence part and also the control unit part, where the data unit and the radio part will be provided by hardware providers for radio access providers. That's the interface already defined in 3GPP is F1. And we will support, and whoever support F1, we will be able to work with them. That will give operator a huge opportunity to control their base stations, their access network from the central, from the cloud, regardless of which vendor is producing the hardware. I mean, that's a huge opportunity to break the vendor lock-in. Is I think that gives the also advantages. Okay, I will talk about a little bit program impact, but maybe you heard about this. And we have a lot of awards, and we have been shortlisted in many in forums and in many, in every forum almost, including GSMA. Context. I mean, that's we have been shortlisted, and we won the prizes with the program. We won the, I think, award of best 5G use case award in ETSI. Program won this. I mean, with end-to-end slicing with our partner, and we provide the run slicing and all this profile based in the hospital environment. That was the use case. And then, okay, and then one of the last slides I want to talk about is what Netsia is doing and what are the impacts of the Netsia projects for national projects. And then we start with 3G femto development also in 2008. We were one of the first companies in the world doing the femto development, small cell development. Even we have been listed and awarded from the Gartner, in the Gartner report, that Argela was in the first 5 companies in the world doing the small cell, and we were the most aggressive and innovative one. And but 3G femto, we had, I mean, hundreds of units deployed in Malaysia, in Maxis. Premises with our partner that time was Alto Bridge, and then they were providing also satellite connection, and then we were using their modems to have the satellite connection from the outdoor femto. That's the 3G base station, which served to 10 kilometer range and 128 subscribers, 64 subscribers simultaneously, and therefore it was a good product, but femto business didn't take up, and then we stopped development of femto. But what we did, I mean, all the experience we had from femto and all the the team itself, I mean, we wanted to use it, and then in Turkey, Defense Ministry also were interested with that product and the project, and then we offered them why not to have the national 4G base station, and then we were the founder of the ULAC actually, and then we initiated the ULAC project. And thanks to Defense Ministry also supported us and provided millions of dollars funding to make ULAC real. And then today, you know, maybe there is a company also, separate company, which is the core group also passed from Argela to ULAC company, including Metin Balcı was the vice president in Argela. Now he's the CEO of the ULAC company. And then ULAC as an umbrella company is also now responsible to develop and to deploy the base stations all over the Turkey. The number will be almost 1,000 this year, and more than 400 active sites now is working. That's the project I think came out of our 3G femto, and then we initiated this project with the Defense Ministry and with their support. And then all our activities, including Genie, maybe some of them also you may know, Global Environment for Network Innovation is the initiative has been also supported by US government, NSF, and also the universities, Aquilab, Planet Lab in US is started to provide a virtualized environment, sliceable environment for all the universities and the researchers that could work on from regardless of where they are and what time and which location, and they could provide all the cloud-based infrastructure they could work on and do their experiments in that environment. It started with Guinea about 10 years ago. We were the first contributor of the Guinea projects in US, and myself, I was working in the work groups and doing the bits and bytes and designs and for this. And then that project, I think all the know-how we provided for these activities for SDN and NFV and working with ON Lab and the ONF, and then gave us an opportunity to come up with also the 5G core network project, which is called MILAT. Also, MILAT funded by Defense Ministry, and again, millions of dollars of funding provided to us. And then in 2 years, and Metin Balcı also was leading the group that time in Argela. In 2 years' time, we completed the projects. I mean, the MILAT is maybe the first, one of the first commercial projects in also for in using the ONOS and open source environment in the world as a public safety project. And we did it. Now I am hearing also very happily that it's been already implemented in some of the government institutions and the bodies. And then I think it will be distributed. MILAT easily can be the core of 5G in Turkey, if we extend it with the new features as well. And then the program and VRAN now leading us to have the all these technologies leading us to have the Türk Telecom transformation projects. And we signed 2 contracts with Türk Telecom for 5G transformation, and we define already certain use cases and certain products like SEBA, like dynamic service chain, virtualized dynamic service chain environment, and like ONUP, central orchestration, and the rest will continue. We start with all those use cases, and then we, starting from end of this year and the next year, Türk Telecom network will be transformed using these products, we'll start having 5G products and start using cloud infrastructures and also SDN-based infrastructures and VNFs in their networks. Some of the VNFs will be boarded also in the network. And SEBA and SEBON is the same. We call it SEPON. SEPON actually is the software-enabled passive optical network, and then is the name is SEBA. But we have some add-ons on SEBA for commercial use. Therefore, we call it SEPON. And then will give us also the opportunity to develop a core of the MAC, multi-access cloud, using OLT. Okay, in summary, I want to talk about, some of the figures. And you see, we have 2 products line now in Netsia, and Argela development team is heavily used for that and contributing those 2 products. And then namely MAC and the SEBA, and we run. And we have already 8 patents is awarded, and 16 is pending. And then for Netsia, we have also a lot of patents in Argela. And then we already working with 7 tier 1 operators in their lab. 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, we were in Japan and did trial in their lab, KDDI lab. And then we implemented our program solution in their lab, and they are using it. And in Verizon lab, it's still active, and they are carrying it into the different also places in the world. Now it will be in Los Angeles. Actually, it's hosted in New Jersey lab as a program, and we are supporting also the platform there in their 5G lab. And then Telefonica is in Madrid. It's been already deployed, and with Telefonica, we are also now trying to finalize the requirements to finalize the MOU together with Verizon and KDDI. Maybe Turkcell can be part of it. Of course, Türk Telekom is in the core. And then, therefore, if you can imagine, with all those 7 operators, including Orange as well, if they come up with their requirements and order us a product, it's a huge opportunity for us. As a company, as a country also. And then we have 3 national infrastructure projects. One of them is ULAC. We provide. The other one is MILAT, and now is the TT transformation. It's 3 really big infrastructure projects. Some of them we have implemented, some of them we are working on it. And then we have international awards, and then also we have a lot of expertise. I think we are in the unique position also in not only in country, also in the global environment that has the know-how, qualified people and the know-how in all those technologies and working in that. And also as a brand, in the last year's MA, we also had a stand as a Netsia, not as Argela, but Netsia is known more than Argela now in the international market. And then that gives us opportunity to address US market, European market, Latin American market, and all over the world. And then, I would like to thank you for listening. And if we will be all together throughout today, if there would be any questions, and I will be happy to talk and to answer them. Thank you.
Çok teşekkür ediyoruz Sayın Bülent Kaytaz'a. Sağ olunuz efendim.